Silage is one of the best and most economical feed sources for livestock. And for the past 70 years, International Stock Foods has been helping producers maximize the quality of their feed. With me today is Neil Woods with ISF Global. Neil, thanks for joining us today.
How are you today, Kevin? Nice to see you.
Good to see you as well. Well, tell us just a little bit about some of the practical risks involved with feeding silage.
Well, some of the risks, Kevin, are always that you may not have a fully fermented product and that you're growing some molds, yeast, and possibly toxins.
Right. And if I find some molds and toxins in my silage, or what might be some indicators that there could be some molds and toxins in my silage?
Well, you may see some different colored molds growing and different reds for different types of molds. And so if you see any kind of thing that may be a warning sign or indicator to you, you probably want to have a test done to verify and see what kind of molds you're dealing with, fermentation problems, and what kind of toxin problems you may be running into.
What kind of dangers could that create in a herd?
Well, you know, there's a lot of latent herd health indications that, you know, are subacute in the animal, where they may just not be doing as well as what they normally do, and they're just having a hard time doing well. You may see breed back problems, spontaneous abortions, just general lethargy in the herd, some inflammation maybe, and you may also notice some feed deficiencies and problems with gains.
I see. Now, you all have a product called SiloGuard, is that right? Tell us a little bit about that product.
That's correct, yes. The SiloGuard is it's not an inoculant, that's first and foremost. What it is a mixture of sulfite compounds that actually grabs or scavenges oxygen, and it takes away the oxygen in the silage pile as the treated silage is coming into the pile, and continues to grab oxygen and get it to the anaerobic state almost immediately. So by doing that, then you can ensure that you're going to get a great fermentation on the feed.
That's great. And what advice would you have for producers like myself that put up corn silage on a regular basis?
Well, first and foremost, that you pack tightly your silage.
Right.
That's the number one thing to making a quality silage. If you can't pack, you know, I always say kind of all bets are off.
Right.
And then in addition to that, make sure you cover well with a quality tarp, maybe an oxygen barrier, and have some weights up there. And just generally do a good job of managing your silage pile.
Well, feed is certainly getting more expensive. We heard corn prices expected to continue to be fairly high in the next year, so it's critically important to get the absolute most out of every ton of silage we put up, and it sounds like you've got the product line up to do just that.
Yes, we do. You know, it's very important that we get the oxygen out of there, prevent that deleterious or bad mold and yeast growth that may have some effects on our animals, and do a better job of managing our feeds and feed costs.
Thank you so much for the time you spent today, Neil. We appreciate that.
Well, thank you, Kevin. Appreciate your time.
For more information on SiloGuard and any of the other products of ISF Global, we invite you to go to isfglobal.com.